Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at CNC. It is time for another update, and on the long time frame on this chart we are tracking this actually quite simple structure where we have a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then we are looking for the fifth wave to the upside. So far, there is no confirmation that this wave 4 bottomed. We did fulfill the expectations of a wave 4 on the larger time frame, where we have a 3-wave structure to the downside. We have reached the 38.2% retracement, which is the ideal target for a wave C, and technically, in those terms, we could be in the 5th wave to the upside. Considering that this would be a WXY pattern, we would even have a full count. But there is no confirmation yet. It could still turn to be a larger ABC structure, in which we would still need to form another low at least within this wave C, possibly taking us to quite low prices, even the 50% retracement. But regardless of this, as long as we stay above the 50% retracement, we can look for continuation to the upside to new all-time highs within this wave 5. Now we can look here at the shorter time frame, and we can reintroduce the short time frame counts, and within this area momentarily we can still track an internal 5-wave move within the third wave to the downside, where this would be a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, a third wave down, a fourth wave up, and then a fifth wave still to form. We do have the 50% retracement as the limit for this scenario. Now if we actually break above the 50% retracement, it would have bullish implications, because then we would be tracking a different pattern even within this wave C. But it would still be expected even in that case to have possibly another low in this area. But it would generally be good for the bullish perspective of the chart in the short time frame, but realistically would still be expecting a fourth wave to bottom in this general area that we have in white, and unless we actually form a 5-wave structure, I would still be considering the risk of forming another low in this area. And keep in mind, we are tracking a wave 4. This could technically also evolve into a triangle, so we have to be open to many interpretations of how this could still unfold. I would like to get a more clear structure, and I will personally be very patient with that, because it is on a very large time frame, and those structures, those corrections do take a lot of time. Now we can look internally, and in the previous video we were at the top of the resistance area that we have here in white, and personally I was still preferring to continue directly lower in the fifth wave that we have presented here in white. And it seems we actually broke the resistance and we managed to push directly higher. That is all good. We just remove this count now. But I have to warn you that this does not mean that we have instead confirmation that we are following the blue scenario, where we would be in a third wave to the upside right now. And for that interpretation, it would be a bit different anyway. But we could still be realistically within this wave 4, where this was an A wave up. We have here a B wave down, and now we could be in the C wave to the upside. It is basically the yellow scenario, but with a very, very shallow wave B, where we're tracking a larger A, B, C structure. It just is the same scenario, but a wave B has already occurred, and we could be in the C wave to the upside right now. That could still end well within the resistance area that we have up to the 50% retracement at the $40 level. And keep in mind, we did find previously resistance at the 38.2% retracement, quite significant one actually, that even created what looks like a 5-wave move to the downside. And there is a good chance we might also find resistance at the 50% retracement. We don't have really any other structural resistance in this area, we actually do. I just needed to zoom out more. So there is a pretty good chance we may find resistance at the 50% retracement, as we did at the 38.2% retracement, since we also had here the same conditions, structural resistance and Fibonacci retracement resistance in at both levels. So now internally I can still track this interpretation in blue, but I have to warn you, it is very fragile. So for this blue interpretation, I would need to actually consider that this was a series of 1, 2 setups that occurred here. So it would be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then for this to work out as a wave 3, I would have to internally count here either a series of 1, 2 setups that occurred in this area, which is technically possible, and then this would develop as the larger wave 3. A very strong third wave is what it should be for this to actually work out. Or it could be that, yeah, this was a leading diagonal in a wave 1, this was a wave 2, but then even in this case, I would need a very strong third wave to the upside for the blue scenario in its form to actually work out. So I'm not necessarily too bullish on this chart just yet. On the long time frame, sure, but on the shorter time frame structure, it does have a lot of diagonal structures within. This could be easily considered an ABC pattern. Also here we could have a clear ABC pattern. It hasn't really proven itself in this time frame, and it doesn't have a clear 5-wave move that we can track for a wave 2 correction and yet have an entry in a pretty reliable setup. So right now I am very cautious, and even in the blue scenario, I would instead probably prefer to track something of different expectations where we would be still looking for a larger 5-wave move. This is always what I am looking for to form for, yeah, reliability, but it would be within a leading diagonal where this was a wave 1, this was a wave 2, this was the third wave up, or yeah, still is, and then we would be looking for a wave 4 and then still a 5th wave. But in this case, within this wave 3, I am only looking at an ABC structure that is much more, yeah, realistic, let's say, because within the blue scenario that this is really a 1-2 setup, and we have here either a series of 1-2 setups or just the one large one, we would really need a very strong push. It could happen. I'm not leaving it out. I'm not excluding this possibility, but keep in mind, if it doesn't happen, it isn't necessarily the end of the world. We can still form a 5-wave move to the upside. Now, for this movement, as I was saying, we are tracking an ABC structure, so let's even add an interpretation for this. And I would like to leave it in yellow because, yeah, in either case, we are looking for a wave C in this area, and I might even remove the white scenario. Maybe, no, I maybe just shouldn't. So yeah, let's leave them in their own interpretation. But yeah, it is a wave C in either case in this area, and that would leave scenarios less distinct and allow us to focus on a more, yeah, consolidated version of the chart. And here internally within this wave C, I would be tracking a diagonal structure where this was a wave 1, this was a wave 2. Here we have a third wave up, a 4th wave down, and then a 5th wave to the upside. And honestly, this movement, this pattern could easily be considered complete. And in this case, or yeah, this wave 3 could be considered complete. And in this case, I would expect a correction within a wave 4. And I can allow this wave 4 to retrace as low as the 61.8% retracement at the $35.5 level. But the support zone that would be the minimum expectations for such a wave 4 starts at the $37.6 level. And yeah, if we actually break below the 61.8% retracement, there is an increased and quite high risk that, yeah, we may have started the general wave 5 to the downside. So I would be watching out for that with a very close eye. Now, zooming out before we close this up, I have provided you this opportunity, on this chart ever since we reached the 38.2% retracement, maybe even before that. And I was leading you towards new lows in this area to have a full count here. And we did get all of them as expected. Now, if you missed that, it is fine. We still are in the general support area for a wave 4. Now, as long as this holds, we can, with pretty high confidence, track a 5th wave to the upside that can have quite extensive targets, where the initial target that I would be tracking for a 5th wave to the upside, the initial general target, whoops, this is not what I meant to do. that I would be tracking in the case that we have already bottomed here in a wave 4 would be at the $136 level. Yeah, somewhere around that area. I may have not drawn that perfectly, but even from this point, there is extensive profits to be made on such potential. And there is no confirmation that we will get another low. There is no confirmation that we aren't really in the blue scenario, extremely bullish count that could allow a very direct breakout to the upside. And we are in the general support zone. So if you really are interested in this stock, you may want to consider adding a little bit to the position, even if it isn't at the lowest point. So for now, I will leave it at this. These are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover. And I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.